Hey, remember me? I haven't posted a video on this channel in quite some time, probably a couple of years, but I wanted to make this video today because I made something for my sister for her Christmas gift. And if you remember years ago, I made another gift for her that this one kind of goes along with it. And that's why I wanted to make the video today. It's kind of like the part two to something that I've already done a video on. And that is making her a one-of-a-kind booster action figure from Jingle All the Way. It's one of our favorite Christmas movies when we were growing up, and we watch it every single year. And I wanted to announce that you can make your own. More on that coming up. A few years ago, I did a video, like I said, making Turbo Man, as I just broke him. I thought he was glued. He literally Turbo Man like in the movie. He's both fun and educational. Well, this wasn't the one I made her, luckily. This is the one that I made for myself. It was kind of my prototype one anyway. I had put pins to try and make him posable, that he kind of moves, but it didn't work out, so I abandoned it. And then he was a little bit too big. As you can see, Booster's a little bit smaller, and Turbo Man in the movie is shorter than Booster. So, yeah, this is one of the prototype ones. When I made hers, I glued everything together. It didn't move. Same with this one. This is just a little statue, and to go along with him, I made her a custom box. These are some of the prototypes that I made for the boxes, and I am going to be selling kits of these. You can snatch these up. Link will be in the description. I might put up a few completed ones, but there's only going to be a handful of those made, and yeah, so if they're up there, get them while they're hot. After that, they'll probably never be there ever again. Same with the kits. We'll see how many I make. And the kits will include the figure as well as the box. But I wanted to make something a little bit different, special, unique. So I did a miniature version of like the big action figure, the full-size one in the movie, and made miniature boxes. So I created a template. So I created it in real life to get the sense of, well, what it would look like. And I can actually fold it up and see how it would work. And here is what will come in the kit. The box itself, as well as the insert piece right here. Yes, because there is an insert that the figure gets twist tied to. That's what I use. That's why I had laying around. And I use a little scratch piece of the paper as the backing to make sure it doesn't rip through the insert part, and then put it all in the box. It's really cool. This is thick cardstock. I believe it's 130-pound gloss cardstock paper, 11 by 17, but the kit will include this. Since I was giving this to my sister as a Christmas present, I did include a little extra thing, which I don't know if I'll include with the kits. You might get a surprise if you buy them. We'll see. But I did make a little slip cover of the Turbo Man wrapping paper that goes over the box. This is one of the prototypes, but this one was a little too precise, so it's really a snug fit going on the box. But you never know. You might get this in the kit for free. We'll see what happens. I have to flesh out one small detail with it, and I don't know if I'll have time to do it. Now, the first box I made, honestly, it came out really good, but the paper was a little too thin. I took it to Office Depot and had them print it at their thickest cardstock, and it just wasn't enough. So I found a local print shop. That's how I was able to make the thicker cardstock, and it is absolutely perfect. That's what this is. This feels like final packaging. As you can see on the box, it has a flap that you cut out, and you can fold it down in. And I did that way in case my sister wanted to pull out the figure at any time. It's openable, so you could pull it out if you wanted to. And I just added a little Scotch tape to seal it up. And to assemble the box, I just used double-sided tape on all of the seams, and it's strong and it works perfectly. But on the bottom itself, I didn't do a little flap. I just folded the paper over and then just double-sided taped it to the inside flap, and it worked out great. However, you will notice on the paper you will get, you will see all these black, over here, all these black lines. These are scoring lines. I'll get to that in a second. But you'll see that there is a scoring line on the bottom. I left it just in case maybe you did want to have that extra little flap on the bottom and top just to make things match. But this one right here is optional. You don't have to do it. You could just cut this out and then fold it over and tape it to the box. Now, scoring. How do you score it? With one of these. I'll leave a link in the description to hopefully this one. I bought this one locally. I'll try and find one similar and leave a link for you in the description. But this one is a cutter, as you can see, but I don't use it for that. It kind of sucks. It comes with this little knife tool and these grids inside this cutter. It fits perfectly in there, and you can just score the fold lines on the paper, and then that's how I was able to fold and score these boxes. This is super cool. Now here's where I just didn't have the right materials, tools, if you will, to do this properly. So you'll notice on the front of the box there is a piece of plastic, a window part. And I don't have a way to bend plastic or score plastic to get it to fold. The material, at least I was using, didn't work on the scoring thing. So I just left it as it is, and I think it's still fine. You'll notice on the edge, you can pull it open a little bit. I really don't think it matters too much. I think it looks perfect as it is. But if you have the better tool, better materials, you would need to fold the plastic over. Extra thing. Now on the original toy, the window folds over and there's a side cutout right here. If you can figure out a proper way to fold the plastic, you can just cut along this line next to where Turbo Man is flying, cut right there, and then you'll be able to have that folded effect on the box itself. I left it that way on purpose. Meaning I just added this part for the sake of not being able to fold the plastic, but if you want to take on that challenge, you can cut that out at any time. But honestly, I think it looks pretty good as is. And the plastic itself, you can use whatever you want. You can go to a craft store and find just sheets of plastic. But this stuff's actually Shrinky Dink material, which is, I think, just, what, PET, I think. But I just found sheets of that and stuck it in. But the kit itself will come included with a sheet to cut and place inside. And now to assemble it, it's simple. I just put double-sided tape around the perimeter here and it holds just fine. The last thing with this is the insert piece. On the original design, I did an L-shaped version of it, which I think is more accurate to the original prop, where it's just a piece folded in. Now I ended up having to actually use some comic book backer board on the original print because this paper was too thin. On the paper you'll get, the cardstock is thick enough, you don't need to do it. The final one I did, and the one that you'll get, it is folded on both sides. I'm going to give you the option, however you want to do it. And as a final thing with the box, you'll notice I cut little edges, the corners off of it. Definitely do that. It makes things easier to fold together and assemble. Now to the figure itself. To assemble it, you will need a couple things. Some type of sanding device. I recommend a Dremel. I couldn't find my Dremel to save my life. I don't know what happened to it. So I did it the slow way with these little files. I got these at like Harbor Freight years and years ago. They were super cheap, but they come in handy. They're great. It is the slow way of going about it. It's really annoying. If you had a Dremel, you could sand down the edges a little bit and pop it together. But you want to shave down the pegs a little bit just so the figure can assemble the arms and the legs. The jetpack as well. The jetpack's a little tricky, but you have to shave it down. You kind of have to finesse it a little bit, but it's pretty straightforward. Now you'll notice that he does have a little poop chute, and that is actually for his tail. But as you can see, there will be no tail that comes with him, and that's because the tail is so thin, and it just wouldn't survive. I didn't even want to make it because I know that it would just break instantly. It's so thin, and this is resin. It's fairly durable. It can break, and so I just not even going to include it. And to assemble them, I just use some Gorilla Clear glue. You can use whatever glue you want. And here's the paint I used. I like to use this Model Color by Vallejo. There's a black. That's literally just for the nose and the dots of his eyes. I used just a white color. And that is for his little tusks, his teeth, and the whites of his eyes. And, of course, the T of his fur. And for some reason, he only has one little patch of white fur on the palm. The original prop did. In the movie, I think it's actually on the other side. And then you'll need a gold color. That is for his shorts and the jetpack. And then you're going to need red. And that is actually to be mixed with the white color to make the pink for his fur. Or just a pink. I didn't have a pink, so I just made my own. And that is all the colors that you're going to need. And I guess there'll be one more tool, and that's some type of knife. And that is to cut out the window part of the box. I recommend cutting it out before assembling, as well as installing the window itself. Assemble all that to begin with, then do the folds and get it assembled that way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. You can knock one of these out in an hour or less. Oh, and then I ended up using a clear coat from Rust-Oleum. This is literally a spray paint. It's a spray paint and clear over it to seal him up. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good. So to do a little bit of a recap, what you'll get inside this kit is the figure itself. It will not be painted. You will assemble it. It'll come in 6 parts: the jetpack, the torso, which the head's already attached to it, and both arms and both legs. You'll also get this template right here, cardstock for the box itself. Cut it out and score where the black lines are. And remember, the bottom black line is optional. You'll also get the clear plastic window to cut and fit into the box itself. I'll put a few of these up available for sale. I might have 1 or 2 of these completed ones available. To be sure to check the link in the description to see if there's any left or if I ever did. We'll see. And I know I'm going to get the comments. I might do Turbo Man next. I'm not sure. Turbo Man, the figure itself, it's very time consuming to get that printed. And I haven't designed the box, which it wouldn't be too difficult. I only really need to change the booster part of it. But be on the lookout. You never know. You just never know. I might make it. Same with the Mentor. And I know I have one other thing that I'm going to make from Jingle All the Way that I don't think it's ever been made before, and it's in this world. It is an action figure, and it is pretty cool. So we'll see what happens. But hey, I made a video on this channel. I don't know when the next one will be, if ever. You never know. But consider subscribing just in case. But until next time, I'll see you then.